Hi diddly-o, good neighbor. I don't know why I'm in a home improvement mood today, but I guess that's because we are finding out what things need to be fixed in the college football playoff. Yesterday I talked about what the haters got wrong. Today, well, let's see. What can we fix? Let's get under the hood. Let's walk around the house. Whatever metaphor you want to use is fine with me. Depends on what you do. Number 5, the New Year's Six needs no part in this. And yeah, I picked the Rose Bowl because I quite often hate on the Rose Bowl. Beautiful stadium, beautiful venue, but this whole thing's about a parade, and I really, really hate that. My personal vitriol towards parades aside, the bottom line is having the New Year's Six games in this just made it worse. You had stadiums that weren't full. You had fan bases that had to travel a lot. Look, if Texas had won against Ohio State, they would have had to go to Atlanta every other week for 6 weeks. That's dumb. Play these games on campus until you get to the final. Yes, I know we have these New Year's Six bowls and they're part of the contract, but when you make the next contract, it's time to sit down and say, this is what the future is of the sport and not the past. It sucks. The Rose Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, all of them have had some great history. But the bottom line is, for college football to take a step forward, they need to stop being held back by things in the past. Number 4. A real look at the value of conference title games. Now, I'm not saying get rid of them altogether, but Notre Dame doesn't play in one because they're not in a conference. Ohio State didn't play in theirs because they came in third, and they're both in the championship game. So outside of seeding the tournament, what advantages do these conference championship games have? We need a real look at that, and if the answer is just, well, they make us more money, I don't know if that's good for everything, but if that's the answer, that's also why they're going to stay. But if you want to make it better, take a real look at the value of the conference title games and then reassess. Number 3, golly, I'm going backwards. More networks. Tim Brando was on the show last week and talked about this. Now, part of this is probably Tim Brando would like to get a crack at doing some of these games, which he should. He's one of the best. But the NFL is all across. And they're even going to, like, Netflix is going to get involved in this. We saw playoff games this last week on NBC, ESPN, CBS, and Fox. And I guess ABC in there. And Amazon Prime. Throw Netflix in there down the line because that's going to happen too. The streaming services, all that. The more you do this, right now it's ESPN and TNT. If you throw Fox in there, if you throw CBS in there, I think this gets better. Giving everybody a couple of games the first week and then whittling it down until you get to an NFL structure like the Super Bowl where rotating each year a different crew gets it. I think that would be good, and especially given, ESPN's 50-50 split of approval across the country this year. Well, maybe allow ESPN to take a couple years and step in the background and then show everybody up every year. That's something that's good. And the other networks do that for the NFL. Why they don't do it for college football, I don't know. But more would be better, and it would give us just more diversity in coverage, which I think is good. It would just be a different voices, and the ones that you get tired of. The part of the reason we might be tired of Kirk Herbstreit or Nick Saban or the Gameday crew is they're literally on every broadcast. Well, they don't need to be. I'm not tired of Terry Bradshaw because I'm not watching all the Fox NFL games. I'm not tired of J.J. Watt because I'm not watching all the CBS ones. You get my point here. Number 2, less layoff time. Not much less, but they need to tighten this thing up a little bit and get it done quicker. Waiting, 10, 11, 12 days between this because you have to avoid the NFL. There's a way to tighten this all up. Do I have it exactly? No. I'm not a calendar maven, but I think you need to tighten it up a little bit because there's too much time, especially between those conference title games and the first round of the playoffs. Way too much time. 2 weeks is way, way too long. Way too long. Less layoff time. Let's keep it rolling. And number 1, a college football NIT with the next 12. And I think this is a way to maybe make the bowls back. It doesn't necessarily have to be a tournament week after week, but if you just seeded those bowls that you're going to piss off by taking the next 12 best teams and putting them in the New Year's 6, and then the next 12, and the next 12, and the next 12 throughout the bowls, then you probably have a better postseason because you're going to get better, more evenly matched games all the way down the line. So, you know what? Look, the New Year's 6 are out, but guess what? They're the college football NIT. They're going to get 6 games with teams that were just out, like the next 12, that had playoff opportunities until a certain point in the season. Some of them who might be, would have been playoff teams if they just, were in a different conference. They're going to get better games. And this is how I become president of college football, because I fix things. College football, you should listen to me. I'll only take $25 million a year, and not a penny more and not a penny less. So that's pretty fair. And I'll only ask for a raise every 18 months. But $25 million a year to start, right off the bat, and a jet. Those 2 things, everything else I'll take care of on my own. I'll be making $25 million. Make me the president. I'll fix all these things. I'll walk into a room with the Rose Bowl president and say, listen, screw your parade. And the Orange Bowl will be like, listen, guys, instead of getting the semifinal game, you're going to get Mizzou versus BYU, but a better game than you might get otherwise. So, sorry about you, but these games are going to home sites. That's what I'm going to do as president of college football. Yeah, I'm throwing my hat in the ring. That's the thing you got here on Wednesday. Paul Catalina for president of college football. Right now, not an electable position. But if it is, I'm throwing my hat in the ring. Maybe I'm a fringe candidate, maybe I'm not. But that's what's going to happen. This has been the Top 5. See you tomorrow.